What is up, my friends? It is time for another video. Actually, it's time for a lot of videos, and I feel like I maybe have been procrastinating on doing what it is that I need to do. And when I had my spiritual awakening, my Kundalini awakening, I remember laying on the couch, and it was a particularly bad day, and I was like, I need to share my story because I don't want anybody else to go through what I went through and to be so lonely and so afraid and so scared and so what the fuck about what was going on. So one of the reasons, actually the main reason that I bought this trailer that I'm living in, this travel trailer, is because I wanted a small space that I could easily manage, and I didn't have a lot of distractions like I did in my home around my hobbies and things like that. So that's one of the reasons that I did it. Also, when you have a spiritual awakening, and especially a Kundalini awakening, your life is drastically changed, and it's really never going to be the same. So I knew that some things would be difficult for me, and that one of them is working in the same fields that I'd worked before. And I've been a real estate broker I've been a broker for about, I guess, 10 years in Nevada, but I've also been in real estate since 2002. And the last transaction I did as a real estate agent, I literally saw my client as Satan. And I thought, I am in no condition to be doing this right now. Yeah, and then my other job was being an escort, and that's also hard to wrap my head around too. So from a very early start, from the very early beginning of me having this spiritual awakening, I knew that I wanted to share my story. And ironically, I had just started a real estate YouTube channel for my real estate company, and I was really awkward in front of the camera. Like I was not as comfortable in front of the camera as I am now. One of the things that I had read while I was trying to become better at videos was to record yourself, like when you're on the phone or things like that, so that you get comfortable in talking to the camera. And I was doing that at the time that I had, at the beginning periods of when I was having my Kundalini awakening. So I went through everything. I just was in the habit of recording everything. I recorded a lot of my therapy sessions. I recorded my mushroom sessions. I recorded phone calls. And in the end, I have a very large chronicle of what I experienced as part of my Kundalini awakening. So I really want to get into that. And here's my struggle right now. And I'm just putting it out there. I don't know what the answer is for me, but I've pretty much lived off of savings for the last year of my life, and that's coming to an end. And I'm getting emotional. That's coming to an end. And I know from the bottom of my heart that sharing my story and my experience and what I went through is my life's purpose. I have like a, maybe it's a grandiose idea, but I had this Kundalini awakening when I never even believed in spirituality. I'm sorry for crying. This is not my intent, but excuse me. I wasn't spiritual. There's been periods in my life where I suppose I would have said that I was agnostic or even atheist. And so when I experienced this Kundalini awakening, which was at the time nothing I had ever heard of, it wasn't until about a month after it happened that I actually kept seeing the word, like when I opened up Reddit or YouTube or whatever. It was just like it was there. And finally I'm like, what is this word? And then I was like, holy shit, that's what happened to me. So to say that my life has been absolutely crazy over the past year is kind of an understatement. And I vowed when I was on the couch, I said I will never, I can't let this happen to other people without at least sharing my story, because I know that I can help people. So I'm just kind of at this point where I'm like, I had a really bad therapy session yesterday. I was crying my eyes out because I'm like, it feels foolish to work on this, sharing my story, when I need income. And you know, what am I going to do? Not eat, or, you know, not pay my trailer payment or my rent payment or whatever, because I'm too busy sharing my story. And I don't know how to do the balance, because if there's anybody that's had a spiritual awakening, you know that you don't see the world and will not see the world the same way you saw it before. So many of the things that you did, your friends, your belief system, that's all changing very rapidly. And so work is really kind of a struggle for me too. So I feel like I've been given this, I feel like sharing my story is my life's purpose. And I have probably this grandiose idea of doing a documentary, or maybe it's just going to be through my YouTube channel. I don't know. But over the past year, I've collected research topics that have came to me, I think, in the form of downloads of things that I needed to research, things that I needed to understand. And I'm in a place on my path that I should be exploring those things and sharing that information. And like today, I was having a bad day, and I thought, I can't do that today. I have to be in a good mood. And, you know, I guess what I came to the conclusion is that I will be nothing but authentic. And even though I see the world in a very blissful and childlike way now, I still have bad days. I still have to live in this world, but I no longer feel like I'm of this world. And that's not going to make sense to people unless they've also had a spiritual awakening. But I'm going to do my best in my upcoming videos to kind of explain what I've gone through and share my story. And I'm not sharing my story for anybody to believe me. I know that how life works, and we're not shown things that we're not able to comprehend or deal with until we're ready. And that's kind of what's happened to me. So I do see the world vastly different than the majority of people. But I think it's imperative for me to share my story because I know that it's absolutely crazy, and if it would be somebody else explaining what happened to them a year ago, year and a half ago, I'd have been really fascinated, but maybe I also thought they were really kind of nutty. And I don't think I'm nutty because I know that it happened and I know that it was true. And it's just something I have to do, and that's what I'm working on. So, I hope that as I get into this, I can help others who do experience a spontaneous Kundalini awakening or a spiritual awakening, and, you know, maybe use my experience as a guide. If there is anything that I'm going to be, it's going to be real. So I guess I kind of feel like a jackass on here crying, but it is what it is. It's real. I'm not going to tell you that every day is roses and rainbows, because it's not. And I've been struggling for like a week now. And I think the only thing that's really going to help me is actually sharing my story. So here it is. And I'm going to give it a go.